Hi, welcome to Virtual CB1A. This is Miss Rena, and for this video discussion, we are going to talk about your number of samples. So the number of samples is included in chapter 3, so you have to explain how you came up with the number of some samples or number of respondents in your study and also the distribution of your respondents. So for the number of samples, ang pinakang safe na formula will be the Sloven's formula kasi ito yung may assumption na normal yung population. So we have n over 1 plus n e squared. This is the formula that we are going to use for the Sloven's formula. So what are the meaning of small letter n, capital N, and E? So small letter n is the number of samples. Ito yung hinahanap natin. Capital N is the population size. E is the margin of error. So, si margin of error, you will decide on this. But the most commonly used are, of course, 99, 95, and 90. Pero, nasa sa inyo naman kung ano yung gusto nyong gamitin. So, if you are going to increase, so the margin of error respectively are 0.01, 0.05, and 0.10. So, if you want to use less number of samples, you will increase your margin of error. But if you want your study to be closer to the characteristic of the population, then bababaan mo yung margin of error. So, kung ang i-allow mo ay 0.01 na margin of error, then your result will have less likelihood of committing errors. Pero kung lalakihan mo naman yung margin of error mo, say for example 0.10, bababa yung number of respondents mo, but you are more prone to error. Okay? Okay, so this time, let's have an example. So halimbawa, maglalagay tayo ng isang research sa college students of PSBC. So now that we already identified our population, pasensya na ayaw na naman niya sumulat. Ayan. So our population ay college students of PSBC. Say for example, we have N is equal to 450. We have 450 students. And we want our margin of error to be 5%. So what is the number of samples? Ilan yung respondents na kailangan mo for your study? Let's prepare here a calculator and compute for the number of respondents that we will include in our study. Let's substitute the values to our equation. We have 450 over 1 plus 450 times 0.05 raised to the power of 2. So, using your calculator, so please get your calculator and input the values. Ayan. Dumami naman sobra yung lumabas na calcu sa akin. So, for the denominator, we have 0.05 squared, that is 0.025 times 450 plus 1. Okay, so that is 450 over 2.125. Next, we have 450 divided by 2.125, you are required to have 211.76 or 212 respondents. Okay? Now, let's expand our problem. So, meron kang 212 na respondents. How will you choose these respondents from the 4 departments that we have? So, halimbawa, now that we already know that the number of samples that we need is 212 respondents, alamin naman natin kung saan-saan manggagaling yung 212 respondents natin. So, we have 4 departments in the college department. So, these are the BSBA department. Next, we have the BS Ed department. Next, we have the BE Ed department. And finally, we have the BSHM department. So, alamin mo muna kung ilan dun sa 450. We know that we have 450 all in all. Ilan sa kanila yung galing sa BSBA department, ilan yung galing sa BSED, BE-Ed, and BSHM. So, say for example, the distribution will be BSBA is 75. BSED, for example, is 110. BE-Ed is 56. This is just for the sake of examples, ha? And then, BSHM is 209. So, dito, hindi pwede na equally distributed. Na 112.5 yung kukunin mo for each department. So, it should be proportional to the number of students enrolled per department. So, you are going to make use of a table. So, this is the number of, or this is the label for each of the department. So, list down natin. We have BSBA. Next, we have BSED, followed by BE-Ed, and followed by BSHM. And then, ito yung population nila. So, we have here 75, 110, 56, and 209, giving us a total of 450. Dito sa dulo, nandito yung number of samples. So, for the number of samples, dapat we will come up with 212, yung computed N natin from the Sloven's formula. So, ang gagawin natin, yung ratio ng population ng BSBA over the total population will be multiplied by the number of samples. So, for BSBA, you will use 75 over the total population, 450. Tapos, multiply mo yan by 212. And that is the total number of samples coming from BSBA. So, let's compute. 75 divided by 450 is 0.17 times natin siya by 212. You will end up with 35.33 or i-round down na lang natin siya. Pwede na yung 35. Okay, now let's go to the population of BSED. We have 110. I-divide mo yan by the total number of population, 450. I-multiply mo sa 212. So, we have 110 divided by 450 times 212. Kukuha tayo ng 51.82 or approximately 52 students from the BSED department. For BEd, same procedure tayo, 56 divided by the total population, 450, multiplied by 212. That is 26.38 or 26. Dito sa BSHM, since last na naman siya, it is not necessary na mag-compute ka pa ulit. Ang gawin mo na lang, add all of these 3 and then subtract it from 212. Whatever your difference will be, yun yung number of BSHM students. Pero pwede pa rin kayong mag-compute dito. Okay? So, ako, yung madali ang gagawin ko, add ko na lang to lahat. We have 35 plus 52 plus 26. This is all in all 113. 212 minus 113. You will have 99 students from BSHM department. So, ito yung mga kailangan natin na number of samples dun sa research natin. If we are going to make use of the margin of error, which is equal to 0.05. If you are going to widen or palakihin natin, increase natin yung margin of error to 0.10, mas liliit yung number of samples natin. So, this is how you determine kung okay na ba yung number of samples mo from your collected questionnaire sa Google Form. So, sa ngayon, parang huling update mo sa akin, Abby, nasa 97 pa lang sila. So, try mo mag-compute. Pag sapat na siya, using your margin of error, i-allow kita kahit hanggang 0.10. Kasi palagi ko pag 0.10, maliit na lang yung number of samples na kailangan mo, around 150 na lang. And then, i-check mo kung masasatisfy mo yung number of samples per strand. ABM, STEM, UMS, and TVL. Okay? And then, mag-report ka kaagad sa akin para bibigyan na kita ng instruction to perform statistical analysis. So, that will be it for this video discussion. Thank you for listening and see you next time. Bye.